on Six Forks and North Hills proper. You've got those two crashes to worry about. So this area is completely shut down. You've got Glenwood Avenue, you've got Wake Forest Road as two alternate routes in terms of getting around this area. But Raleigh police are encouraging you, do not go near the North Hills area. Stay away from Six Forks Road. Again, you've got a couple of options in terms of east, west, north, south, Glenwood Avenue and Wake Forest Road. Renee, Chris?
All right, thank you, Ken.
Yeah, this shooting investigation having big impacts there, not just on traffic, but also on the school day for a lot of Wake County schools. We keep adding to the list. We told you about Carroll Magnet, Douglas Magnet Elementary School, Green Magnet Elementary School. The elementary schools are on code yellow. Carroll Magnet Middle School is on code red. We've also learned Brooks Elementary School, they are on code red right now while this shooting investigation is taking place there all around North Hills.
And we obviously just gave you quite a few names of schools that are out here. You may be a parent wondering, is my child's school being affected with this? Here's what we're working on right now. I just spoke with our producers. They are trying to get us a graphic together so we can give you the full list of these names. And we're in the process of getting this online at WRAL.com. We know many of you may be at work right now. You may not have the luxury of being able to look with this right away. And that's why we're trying to bring you this information as soon as we can.
And typically with these schools, as soon as they are under any kind of code yellow or code red lockdown, they immediately put out an alert that's sent to parents and families of the school situation, with parents getting text messages, emails, voicemails from Wake County schools, whether their particular school, their student's school, is affected by this investigation. But clearly there are a number of Wake County schools very close to North Hills, in and around that area. And as a safety precaution, because of this shooting investigation, that these schools are under code yellow or code red. Code red, of course, being the most extreme lockdown, where things are stopped and the schools, the students stay in the classrooms. Code yellow, they are still conducting their school day with extra precaution. And there you have it, the graphic with those schools.
And we'll just read those once again for those of you just joining us. Carroll Middle School under a code red for lockdown. Brooks Magnet Elementary, red. Green Magnet Elementary, yellow, and Douglas Magnet Elementary, yellow. One thing I just thought about, Renee, just because we keep getting more images in, which we're working to get on air, is that this particular area has some taller buildings that are nearby. And so I wonder what surveillance cameras, what other witnesses who maybe were higher up saw from this happening. And I wager that police are likely going to try to get as much surveillance video as they can. Yes, we have this vantage point from Sky 5, but anything we can get in terms of surveillance video that shows us clearly what happened and then the aftermath of that, that could very well help illustrate what went on here.
And Chris, it's a very interesting observation, because as we have seen North Hills develop over the years on either side of Six Forks, and those high-rise buildings with all the apartment buildings that they have been building out there, certainly they have that height and that vantage point, and whether there are surveillance cameras, where you would imagine in this day and age they most likely do. Police, as part of their investigation, will certainly be talking with those real estate places, those apartment buildings, and also those business owners to see what other information they can glean as to how this shooting unfolded. And all we know at this point is that there was a shooting that is officially from Raleigh police, and they also say this is not an active shooter situation. But as they investigate this, they are shutting down many of the roads around North Hills, trying to keep people away. Certainly they do not want extra traffic coming in to the already busy shopping center.
And Renee, we've seen obviously the scene from Sky 5 and from our tower cam, but now we know that WRAL's reporter Chelsea Donovan is there live at the scene from the ground. Chelsea, what are you seeing now that you've arrived?
Yeah, so right now Lassiter Mill Road is completely blocked off in both directions. Let me show you. This is Six Forks here and Lassiter Mills, and you can see Raleigh police officers blocking traffic here and keeping people out of the way. They're turning people around immediately. Look though, Keith, if you want to go to the right. This is that prominent North Hills shopping center everybody's familiar with, and you can see all of that crime scene tape here around Croquette, REI, the main area of North Hills, when I arrived, my colleague Brett Neese was on the scene inside of that crime scene tape. And Brett, you have witnessed a lot of activity since you've been here. You were inside of that crime scene tape. Talk to me about what you saw when you arrived just a few minutes earlier than I did.
Yeah, Chelsea, I've been here for about 20 minutes or so, and this entire parking lot, the crime scene tape continues to grow. The scene continues to grow. They have continued to block off different portions of the parking lot. When I was there, I was not on the other side of the crime tape. I was just where the crime tape was at the moment. But they have since continued to expand this parking lot, and I've talked to a lot of people that are out here, especially this auto business right here with the auto repair shop. They saw all of this play out right next to Croquette, right next to REI. They say that's where everything started. They heard these gunshots, several gunshots go off. They aren't exactly sure who was hit, who was hurt, and who started all of this when it happened about an hour ago. But since then, you've seen this crime scene tape continues to expand. They basically blocked off the entire parking lot at this point as they try to collect as much evidence as possible.
Right, and we're asking Brett to kind of give his perspective. He was here a little bit earlier, eyes and ears on the ground before I was. Keith, if you walk this way, you can see that this other entrance here, this is a newer part of North Hills that's blocked off you. So if you're thinking about that, you're thinking about the new Restoration Hardware area, the new Village Tavern, the new True Food Kitchen. You can see police down there at that intersection detouring traffic again because that other back entrance to North Hills is also blocked off. So you can see some folks, these pedestrians here on the sidewalk here on the other side, you know, where Starbucks is at, Quail Ridge Books. We're hoping to talk to these folks because obviously they were here perhaps when these shots rang out that centered around that Croquette area. But right now, this area that's usually bustling with the lunch hour completely shut down in and around Lassiter Mill and the Six Forks North Hills area.
Just obviously a very active scene there out there. You obviously heard with Chelsea speaking there on the scene. It was pretty loud. Obviously, we have Sky 5 in the air, but we also had that heavy police response. You heard the sirens there as well. But one of the things that we keep seeing are the different perspectives now that we have her live on the ground, how blocked off the area is. There you go. This is why investigators are saying you are urged to avoid that area after this reported shooting at North Hills.
And with Brett's reporting and observation, he's been able to go in and around that scene, talking about how police keep expanding the imprint of this investigation as that spreads. Certainly, as they continue to find new information, they may be expanding their investigation, which causes that yellow tape to move farther and farther, a wider radius that encompasses more and more of that shopping center. And then they're also detouring all that traffic, shutting down the roads so that people can't drive into North Hills where they might be at this time of day to try and shop or visit the restaurants there or have lunch there. They need to keep that crime scene intact, if you will, as they collect evidence and conduct their investigation.
And one thing that just comes to mind, you mentioned the time of day this is. It's 11:44 right now, almost 11:45. We've been on the air for just shy of, maybe 40-ish minutes talking about this shooting situation that's unfolded here, and at least one death reporting based off what we see from Sky 5. What you're seeing in the left part of your screen there is from Chelsea Donovan's camera, where there seems to be an officer trying to direct someone to go around traffic. Again, this is a reminder why investigators are saying you are urged to avoid that area. And one of the things that I'm trying to contact with our team in the newsroom is wondering, are we checking with people who are actually in the shops that are there? Brett mentioned how the people who are in the auto shop definitely saw everything that was going on. And we heard from Meredith earlier about how the action seemed to have happened near Coquette, that restaurant there at the corner of that plaza. And so I believe we should try to check in with these people to see, are they still hunkered down in these stores? Have they left? Did they see anything? And ultimately, are they okay? Because something like this, knowing someone was shot, is a traumatic thing to hear.
And Chris, this investigation is affecting the school day, as we let folks know, and we have another school to tell people about that is on code yellow lockdown, St. Timothy's School, a private school that is very close to North Hills. That's just up Six Forks from North Hills. That school is on code yellow lockdown. So certainly this is not just affecting Wake County Public Schools, as they have several schools near that area, but also St. Timothy's is now under code yellow lockdown.
And I do want to say that we do have another reporter who just arrived to scene, Destiny Patterson. She's arrived there. Destiny, tell us specifically, where are you on the road and what are you seeing from your perspective?
So I'm standing right on Six Forks Road. Right here is the entrance to North Hills, right by the Harris Teeter and the King's Bowling. And to my right is the entrance to 440. You can see the heavy police presence just from where I'm standing. It took me an extra 10 minutes to get here because of all of the traffic in this area. From my understanding, there's also a crash in addition to this shooting investigation here. So if you look actually this way towards North Hills, we have started to see some people who are walking out and about. We even see some workers that are down there. So right after we hop out of this live shot, we're going to try to see if we can talk to any people, see if they saw anything, and we'll continue to keep you guys updated. We'll send it back to you now.
Destiny, if you could still hear me, are they keeping people away from turning into that part of North Hills? Yes, where the Harris Teeter is, that section, they're also keeping people away. Yeah. Okay.
That's correct. You can see this police unit that's right here that's blocking the entrance here. And when I pulled up, this is kind of the stopping point here. You basically have to get onto the interstate, and they're not really letting people turn into this area. I just saw this car here talk to this police officer here to get clearance to do so.
And not only is that section on the right side of Six Forks Road, not only is that busy too, they also have all those apartment high-rises. That's where a lot of folks live. So certainly a lot of residents who may be trying to get home are being turned away and detoured, and then all that traffic getting back out on 440.
So Destiny right now is obviously going to try to get more interviews with people out there to try to piece together what happened. But we do know Chelsea Donovan has a live interview with us right now. Chelsea, who is with you? And tell us a little bit about what the role they have in this.
All right, so we've come down just a little bit to that back entrance of North Hills by Ethan Allen, if you're familiar with him, with Neil Justice. He lives right here in this apartment complex, kind of right near Quail Ridge Books, right? Right. You've come outside, you're looking around, I've seen you've got your phone out. What is going on? What did you hear this morning? Sirens, you said?
Yeah, about 20, 25 minutes ago, I kept hearing sirens, and then I looked out my window and saw heavy police presence with fire truck and state troopers, and I started hearing helicopters. So I turned the radio on and TV and saw there was an active shooter, and or at least a shooter in the area. And I came outside, and this is where I've been for about 25, 30 minutes.
We know that the active shooter part now not the case, thankfully, but obviously there is a death investigation going on with shots fired. How long have you lived here? And I would imagine in this area, this is an anomaly.
Yes, it is. I've been in Raleigh in this area since 2014, and never would expect anything like that here in this area.
Right. And so are you just kind of out here kind of hanging about, waiting to get some answers? I know, like most folks and us, the media, kind of curious to see what's going on and where this investigation is sort of centered from and who might be harmed.
Exactly. I'm just trying to find out all I can and hope everyone's safe.
Great. Neil Justice lives here, right here at North Hills. Again, this is sort of a ghost town here on Lassiter Mill Road. If you see, the police have blocked it off completely here. If you're familiar with Six Forks, you know that Exxon station. It's been here for decades, really, since I grew up here. It is completely all blocked off here around North Hills, the main shopping center. If you see, and I think Keith could probably show you in a distance, there is yellow crime scene tape in this area as far as you can see. And the majority of that crime scene tape is centered around that Croquette restaurant. It's a French bistro. It's been here for quite some time. Near that would be Firebird's restaurant, REI. This is a shopping center that is incredibly busy, day or night. You've got the movie theater back here. You've got multiple different shops and businesses, restaurants, you name it. All of that completely